1837 is the year of higher education. The opening occurs on May 3rd in the presence of the king, authorities and residents of the capital who embrace the new establishment from the very beginning. The university is housed at the residence of architect and city planner Stamatis Kleanthis. It is one of the very few large buildings in Athens at the time.
The Ottonian University starts with 4 schools: law, theology, medicine, and philosophy. In keeping with the tradition of German universities, the School of Philosophy contains the departments of philology and physics and mathematics.
Students are only male. In the first years, most students are expatriates from the Ottoman Empire. In the first year, classes are attended by 52 students and many auditors.
On July 2, 1839, King Otto lays the cornerstone for the university's central building.
The main wing of the building, known as Propylaea, is completed in 1841 and classes are transferred there.
Only men are allowed to study up until 1890. Very early on, they become extremely active participants in the university.
They make their presence strongly felt in the streets of Athens, pursuing demands related to the university and other topics.
In 1862, Otto's expulsion heightened students' stature as a driving force in the struggle against oppression.
In October 1862, the provisional government changes the university's name from Ottonian to National. A new era begins. The institution will gain even greater prestige.
Symbols of the old regime are eliminated along with the old name. Royal decorations on the university seal are replaced by the image of an owl, a symbol of wisdom. In 1887, in celebration of 50 years of operation, the university acquires its banner.
At the end of the 19th century, the university undergoes several major changes. The first female student, Ioanna Stephanopoli, registers at the School of Philosophy in 1890. Positivism makes its presence strongly felt, reflected in the founding of museums and the creation of dozens of laboratories and tutorial facilities. Among them is the new chemistry laboratory, one of the best of its time. The Venizelos era begins in 1911, when the government of the Cretan politician votes for the first definitive university regulation.
A temporary one had been in operation previously for 80 years.
The university is expanding, not only in terms of staff, but also infrastructure. Schools acquire new buildings, such as the Theoretical Disciplines Building and the School of Medicine. The expanding student population makes the issue of their representation ever more critical. In 1911, the rector gives permission for the formation of student unions and societies. It marks the beginning of the student union movement and politicized trade unions.
At the same time, left-wing ideologies begin making their way onto campus. The student movement becomes much more politically aware and simultaneously more critical of the university itself. The map of higher education in the country changes drastically with the founding of the University of Thessaloniki in 1926. That's followed by a series of other new schools, founded by Venizelos governments in an attempt to connect education with production. From the 1990s onwards, With populations of both students and staff growing steadily, the university's implementation of postgraduate studies and European research programs contributes significantly to advancing research infrastructure and related activities.
In these 180 years, millions of people have walked the hallways of NKUOA, students of both genders, educators and administrators. The majority of those who appeared on the country's socio-political stage, at least until the interwar period, came from the National and Kapodistrian University of Athens.
Presidents of the Republic, prime ministers, cabinet ministers and more have served as members of its educational staff. Globally prominent figures in science and culture have studied at NKUOA. Since its founding, NKUOA has, to a great extent, served as the backbone of the country's scientific, social, and cultural life. Today, it consists of 8 schools and 33 departments. Its educational and administrative staff number more than 3,000 people, and it serves more than 65,000 students.
Its historic tradition, the scientific reputation of its educators, the contribution of its researchers and administrators, the vitality and potential of its student body, these attributes are the compass that will allow the university to continue navigating successfully into the 21st century.